so glad to see you today. This is one of the seminars that you have to continue to attend for the motivational interviewing whole curriculum. So my task today is to bring you up to par with one aspect of the motivational interviewing, okay?
Okay.
My name is Melvin Scott. I'm the facilitator for today, and I will be talking about motivational interviewing, one concept called the writing reflex. Now that you know who I am, I'd like to get to know all of you. Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Wonderful. I'm going to pass out these table tents. Please write your name on them. And in addition, on the inside, write 2 things that you think counselors face with regard to being challenged when they're working with their clients.
Okay.
Let's see, that's for you. Thank you. We want to get to know who we're spending time with today.
So it take a little longer for me.
Okay, takes a little longer for you.
Yeah.
So, have a little surprise. You're not going to introduce yourself. We're going to introduce each other. So, may I have your table tents, please? Thank you, and thank you. So, you're going to introduce your classmate. You're going to introduce that classmate. You're going to introduce that classmate, and you're going to introduce that classmate. So start out with their name. Excuse me. Thank you.
I just want to get her name proper.
Okay. Start out with their name, and then I want you to tell me what they feel are challenges when they're working with clients. Okay? And since you had to figure out who somebody's name was, we're going to let you go first.
Okay.
So who are you introducing?
I'm introducing Ciola.
Okay.
And one of her challenges, she wrote, "What's my challenges? Some of them are so defiant."
Okay. So some of your clients you feel are defiant.
Yes.
Okay. And what else did she write?
My challenge is getting them to see their potential.
Okay. So you feel like some of your clients are defiant and you really want them to see their own potential.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Miss Ciola. So we have Miss Ciola. So you can put her table tent together so we'll remember her name. And yes, who are you introducing?
Wayne,
Okay, and what are some of Wayne's challenges?
is them not keeping their appointments.
Okay, what else?
And not keeping their appointment but being on time.
Okay, so you feel that it's challenging to you when your clients don't keep their appointments and they don't keep them on time.
Yes.
Fair enough, fair enough. I think that goes with anybody. Okay, so who are you introducing?
I'm introducing Sandra.
Okay, and what are her challenges?
One of her challenges is not taking it personally.
Okay,
And another one of her challenges was being patient with them and meeting them where they are.
okay, fair enough. Those are good challenges that we do all face. All right, Miss Sandra, who are you introducing?
I'm introducing Tony.
Okay, and what are his challenges?
His challenges, number one is what is frustrating to me is clients not keeping their appointments.
Okay.
And what I find a challenge is not telling them what to do.
Okay, so we have a consensus. More than one person said the appointments is a challenge, right? We do want them to keep their appointments, but we know sometimes that they don't. Okay, so today we have a goal. We got some things we want to do. I want to welcome you again. We're going to learn how to avoid the pitfalls of the writing reflex. Say writing reflex.
Writing reflex.
Yes, that's what we're going to learn today, how to avoid the pitfalls of the writing reflex. Now, what is the writing reflex? It is a natural and instinctive response of trained care providers to fix the problem. That was one of the things that was stated, right? Trying not to tell them what to do. We want to make things right to use our knowledge acquired from training and experience to help the individual seeking care to overcome their problems. That's why we got into counseling, right? We want to help people.
Right.
However, with the writing reflex, we have to refrain from telling them what to do. the writing reflex. This is a visual example of the writing reflex. Let's say the client is a mailbox. They get a whole lot of junk mail. See how full it is? Whole lot of junk mail. This is the writing reflex. People are always telling them what to do. Some of it's good advice, some of it's bad advice, just like we get some good junk mail, some bad junk mail, but we put it all together and sometimes we never even go through it because there's so much coming to us at one time. It's unwanted mail. It's the same thing when people are constantly telling our clients what to do. They just put everything in one pile. Sometimes they may go through it and sort out what is good, what is bad. Sometimes they may not. So it's like all unwanted mail, and that's the writing reflex. In motivational interviewing, it's a technique which you will become a helper in the change process and express acceptance of your client. The goal is not for you to tell them what to do, but be on a journey with them as they learn how to make their own decisions and get on the right road. Now, I use that because I love this graphic right here. This is what we do sometimes. We know that they're going down the wrong road, but we want them to go down the right road. So we're kind of like pushing them. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. It is a common reaction for counselors to want to make things right when we see a problem. Right? Motivational interviewing does not try to make things right. The counselor does not persuade, cajole, inform, prod, or in any way change the client's behavior. They're responsible for their own behavior.
Right.
Our goal is to travel with them on this journey. And with the writing reflex, we learn not to tell them what to do. I can't say that enough. Not to tell them what to do. So in today's activities, I'm going to lecture like I'm doing right now. You're going to participate. I'm not going to be the only one talking. As you can see, that's why we did that little activity, so you can become engaged. And we're going to do some role play. Role playing is important because if you practice now, when those actual scenarios take place in your offices or out in the field, you will have had some experience in how to deal with them. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Our learning outcomes for today, to be able to describe the writing reflex in motivational interviewing. This is one of our learning outcomes for today. Also, to identify the conversations when the writing reflex can hinder the counselor-client relationship. Isn't it important for us to have a good rapport with our clients?
Yes.
Yes, so we don't want to hinder that. So we can learn now some techniques and some skills to prevent that from happening. We need to get that under our belt right now. Moving too fast. Y'all don't peek. Okay. And we want to exhibit through role playing how to avoid the writing reflex. That's why we have all these activities. Now, you already got a little glimpse of the next slide, so let me present it to you. This is Hagar the Viking. I like comic strips, I like cartoons, and this displays an excellent aspect of the writing reflex. So, I'd like 3 volunteers. May I have 3? 1, 2, 3. Okay. It works out well that we have 2 men here. So one has to be the doctor. How about that? One has to be the doctor, one has to be Hagar, and of course one has to be the wife. Well, Miss Sandy, I guess you have to be the wife. No gender bias, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Be the wife. Okay. And
I'll be Hagar.
You'll be Hagar, and you will be?
Doctor.
Okay, so let's do a little acting. So, let's start.
Stop overeating, stop drinking, stop staying out late, stop fighting, stop worrying, stop eating sweets, stop gambling.
What did the doctor say?
I don't know. I stopped listening.
Oh, so he says, I don't know. I stopped listening. So, now that you know what the writing reflex is, take a moment, just take a moment, and I want you to consider the underlying message of the writing reflex. You just saw that cartoon, right? We all chuckle, we laugh, we giggle, but there's an underlying message when you want to apply the writing reflex. So take a moment and write maybe 2 things down that came to you as you were reading that cartoon. Just 2 things. Are y'all pretty fast writers?
Oh, yes.
You fast
ma'am.
writers? Okay, good stuff. Okay, so I can start on this side. So what are two things that came to mind with regards to the writing reflex when you viewed that cartoon strip?
First one, his tone, even just reading it, sounds bossy.
Okay.
And look at how the doctor is positioned. Body language is important.
Yeah, let's look at that again. I think we need to look at that again. His body language, and look, he's got his finger up. He's pointing his finger. Anybody pay attention to that?
Yeah.
So our body language is important. Okay, so I'll come back on this side and over here. And what are two things that you wrote down?
I was going to say he seemed kind of nonchalant about what was going on.
Who seemed nonchalant?
Hagar.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
And he just seemed like he didn't care.
Okay, he didn't care. We can say, we can substitute Hagar for our clients right now, can't we? Yes. So, didn't care. He felt like somebody was being bossy. Did you write anything else?
No.
Okay. Coming back on this side. And what did you write?
The way he looked, he didn't like being told what to do.
Okay.
I mean, you're like a deer with the headlights coming at him. He's just,
Hey, yeah, look at his eyes.
he's just like,
They're like glazed over.
seriously?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Well, that was the second one. Look at his expression as the doctor's talking to him.
And look at his expression as the doctor is talking to him. Some of our clients get that look when we're talking to them, don't they? Yes, they do. Yes, ma'am. What would you like to present?
Well, I had a little bit like Tony was saying. Tony, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But he was like, people don't like being told what to do. But I added, even if they're paying for it.
Even if they're paying for it. Sometimes, okay, so let's be a little transparent. Even when you go to the doctor and they're telling you something that's good for you, you're paying for that visit, but you might not appreciate what's being said. Our clients may be the same way. Okay? So there are 4 principles in MI. So as you continue in these workshops with regards to motivational interviewing, this is one thing that you'll have to learn when we start using certain jargon. Now that I've told you what motivational interviewing is, MI will always mean what? Motivational interviewing. Okay, so there are 4 guiding principles in motivational interviewing, and they're easy to remember with the word rule. R stands for resist the writing reflex. Okay? The U is understand the client. We really need to understand the client. The L, listen to the client. And the E, empower your client. We are all educated people in here, aren't we?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So sometimes educated people talk over other people.
Yes.
We have to learn to listen to our client. When we listen, we gain a better understanding of our client. And then we can empower our client. This E could easily be enable.
Yeah.
We do not want to enable. We want to do what?
Empower.
Okay. And we're going to resist the writing reflex. Oh, y'all are good. Y'all are participating. Just going right on in there.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. We're going to watch a brief video.
Let's return to our example of an ambivalent participant who, like most people considering a change, is balancing back and forth between both sides of an issue. Perhaps they want to quit smoking or eat more healthily. To an outside perspective, the choice between changing and not changing may seem clear. And, of course, providers naturally want to encourage and argue for the healthier choice. However, when a provider takes up one side of the argument, the participant fears the shift in balance and wants to defend the opposite. The ambivalent participant doesn't start out voicing only one side of the issue. It's a natural reaction to a provider taking up the opposite half of the discussion. It's at this point that participants are often labeled as resistant or in denial, when in reality they are simply working to restore their back and forth ambivalent balance. The provider worries they haven't been clear enough, or perhaps haven't provided enough information. The participant responds in kind. Chances are they have collected most of the information and rationales for both sides of the issue. They are not in short supply. the provider becomes insistent, believing that if they can make the participant feel the weight of the consequences, they will come over to the other side. But as research shows, people put the most weight in their own words. They believe what they hear themselves say over what others say. And when confronted with the writing reflex, they hear themselves arguing for all the reasons not to change. When this happens, the writing reflex response is to, as stated in Motivational Interview in 3rd edition, confront the person with reality, provide the solution, and when you meet resistance, turn up the volume. Such behavior can result in the participant actually convincing themselves they really don't want to change, and even leaving the conversation or treatment setting altogether. This can reinforce a provider's belief that the participant was not ready to change after all, when in fact, it's not a question of readiness to change. It's a question of how comfortable the practitioner is with embracing the artful balance of ambivalence.
You better change.
Now, we want the client to change so bad, don't we?
Wow.
Yes,
Yes,
we want
we
the
do.
client to change so bad that we'll throw our words, which are like dumbbells, on our client.
Yes.
Yes, now, it's time for an activity. We're going to do the you shouldn't do this or you should do that activity. Now, I want to talk about that client. That client, they use the word ambivalent. Ambivalent doesn't mean defiant. It just means I'm kind of still in between. I have mixed feelings about something. So our clients are ambivalent. They come to us, they have substance use issues, and we're trying to get them to understand it's for their better good, for their health and wellness, to change and stop doing what they're doing. They want to change, but they like what they're doing.
Right.
So they're ambivalent. So those are mixed feelings. Just because they're ambivalent doesn't mean that they, in fact, don't want to change.
Okay.
They just have to have time to make that change on their own. Okay, so this is a you should do this or you should do that. When we talk about the writing reflex, we can always tell people what to do, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Doesn't take much, does it?
Nope.
Doesn't take a lot of time for you to think of some things,
Nope.
does it? So I'm going to give you some time to come up with at least 2 or 3 things that you shouldn't do or that you should do when it comes to telling people what to do. So take this time and write a few things down for me. This is another one about activities. Uh-oh.
Yep.
I feel like I'm in the testing center. All the pens are down.
Yep.
Okay, so it was real easy to come up with something that you can tell people what they should do and what they shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so let's share. Mr. Tony, let's start with you.
I put, you should stop spending your money on drugs.
Okay,
And you shouldn't keep putting your life in danger.
okay, that was easy. That was easy to come up with. Okay, Miss Iola, we're gonna go across the table.
I put you shouldn't drink so much or you should stop getting high.
Whoa, okay. We all want to say it to our clients, don't we? Yes, sir.
I put, you should come to your appointments on time.
You stuck on that time thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you should not come behind when you come to your appointments.
Okay, Miss Sanders.
You should move out of your neighborhood.
Whoa, okay, you should move out of your neighborhood. A lot of times the neighborhood does contribute to their use and abuse and all the troubles that they have.
And you should go back to school.
Oh, you should go back to school.
Back to school.
Oh, you should go back to school. People don't even have to be using drugs for us to want to tell people that, right? So, but yes, it's easy to come up with things that we can tell people what to do and what not to do. How about this? It's harder to come up with something that's going to affirm someone. What is affirmation? It's the action or process of affirming something or being affirmed. Plain and simple, it's emotional support or encouragement. We find it challenging to encourage people, especially if they're doing something that we think is not right. But we need to learn how to turn those you should and you shouldn't into terms of affirmation. Not that we necessarily agree with what they're doing, but at least find something positive in that we can turn around and let them know that we support them emotionally. Sometimes as counselors, we are the only ones that are supporting these people. They have all these other people telling them they're doing this wrong, they're doing that wrong. You should do this, you should do that. We don't want to be those people. We want to be the outliers. We want to be that one person that they can consider, you know what, I messed up, but they're still going to support me. I'm trying to get this right, they're going to support me. So that's who we are trying to groom ourselves to be. The people that affirm them, but also the people that help them when they need help by providing resources. Empowering, not enabling. So I want you to choose a statement out of your paper, and I have some paper here because it was a you shouldn't or you should not.
Upside down.
Okay. If I could read it, I should have known something was wrong, but it's okay. So we have a you shouldn't, you should, and you shouldn't. So out of those statements, I want you to come up with a statement of affirmation.
Okay.
But this is the challenge. Y'all look real comfortable sitting together. So everybody take a number. Take one and pass it on down. Oh, he had to take one out of the middle. Oh, and she's playing.
Thank you.
This is not spades, but okay. So let's open up our numbers.
Okay.
Okay. I don't even care what they are. All the even go on one side and all the odd go on another. Now, if y'all are already sitting there and the even's already on one side and the odds are on the other side, I'm going to be upset.
We are upset.
Okay. This is not supposed to be a fun go. However, things like this happen. So, I tried. It didn't work. I wanted you to get up and move around. That was the goal of the exercise. So, we're going to move around anyway. So, y'all just get, I don't care if y'all still be together. Just get up and move around. We got to get some movement going.
Two people move.
Two people move. Y'all just move around.
No, come on, Cindy. Let's
Okay.
The guys against the girls.
Yeah.
You know what? They want it to be a gender challenge. So, let's come on. They want it to be a gender challenge. I just want it to be done. How about that? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So, the ladies are going to do the you should,
Yes.
and the gentlemen are going to do the you should not. So, as we go forth in our next activity, and we do have an activity, you split up into groups, and now we're going to role play. So, one person has to be the person that has the you should statement, and then the other person is going to have the affirmation statement. So write down how you're going to work this out, and one person is going to be one reader, and the other person is going to be the second reader.
Okay.
Okay?
Should be right.
And I'm going to take these pieces of paper up that didn't work out for me, but we're going to make it work anyway. It's called being flexible. In counseling, you have to be flexible. Why are you looking over there down?
I wasn't. I was just adjusting my glasses.
Teach on point.
I'm just, I want to hear some discussion about.
Original ideas.
I want to hear some original ideas. You know, when you get out in the field, it's real in the field. So practice makes perfect.
I think we got it.
Okay. The young ladies have it?
Yeah, we should be all set.
Okay. All right. So we're doing statements of affirmation after we have the should statement, and then we have the should not statement. So okay, I'm not even going to coach you. You just go for it.
Okay. We'll go first.
People are always telling me what to do, like get another job.
Yeah, I remember you telling me, and I appreciate you having a job.
All right, did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Her "you should" statement was, people are always telling me I should get a job. Should get another job. Is that what it said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should get another job. And the statement of affirmation was, I just appreciate the fact that you have a job.
Right.
See how that was turned around?
Right.
This is her counselor. People on the outside are telling her, you should get another job. The
Another job.
counselor is like, I just appreciate the fact that you have a job.
Right.
Okay, so what is your should not?
My last counselor said I shouldn't come to the sessions high.
I mean, I'm just glad that you are coming to the session.
Oh,
All
that
right,
was a
then.
good one. So the first counselor said, I don't know what, you shouldn't come to my sessions high. But this counselor turned around with a statement of affirmation and said, I'm just glad you're coming to the counseling session. At that point, they're like, at least he's glad I made it.
Right.
Can you see the difference
Yeah.
Right.
in the should and should nots and the statements of affirmation, which is what we should be doing?
Yeah.
Wow.
As we're wrapping it up, you understand what the writing reflex is.
Yeah.
It's the automatic reflex to tell somebody what to do, especially when you see that they're possibly in danger or in trouble. But we want to support them. So, I'm going to thank you, but I want to know if you have any questions. Because there are some things that we have to remember. Like rule. What is the rule? Resist.
Yes.
Resist the writing reflex. Understand.
Fine.
Listen. And empower. All right, so I think that we accomplished our learning outcomes.
Yes.
I want to thank you. This is the segment on the writing reflex, and your next seminar will continue to build on all those concepts of motivational interviewing. I want to thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Mr.
right.
Scott.
Have a great day.
Yes,
Thank you for your time.
Awesome.